This is Ben Davison. Subscribe to Stephen Icons.
So the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury, the former IBF, WBO, Super WBA heavyweight champion in the world and current lineal heavyweight champion. And he's been talking about how his training's been going and how he's lost a lot of weight. And his aim was to lose 6 stone. And this was only 8 weeks ago. And he's saying that already he's lost 4 stone, which is around 56 pounds, I believe it is. Anyway, this is what Tyson Fury had to say. Don't get me wrong, I had a lot of weight to shift, and I still have, but I've lost 4 stone, so it's a good start, and I've lost it in about 8 weeks. I'm training twice a day, every day. As far as Joshua goes, he will be my easiest fight, even easier than Vladimir Klitschko, even after 2.5 years out of the ring. Deep down, they know the Gypsy King will rule supreme once again. I was at the top of the tree, #1 on the planet. It had to be more than that for me. I wanted to be the most controversial, charismatic, outspoken champion. I do believe I achieved that. I've been proving people wrong my whole life. As far as the other champions go, they can't call themselves a champion until they beat me. Believe the hype, the only lineal heavyweight champion of the world. There is not another heavyweight who can call themselves a champ until they beat me. And that's aimed at Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Joseph Parker, and Manuel Charr. So that's Tyson Fury's statement. So that's pretty incredible. I mean, to lose 4 stone in 8 weeks, that's some commitment. And with his new trainer, Ben Davison, the intro that I've got on there, he's doing wonders in shifting the weight. Now, Tyson Fury is no stranger to losing weight, that's for sure. And it seems that every camp, he spends most of his time losing a little bit of weight. And his aim is to be fighting in April, potentially May time this year. And if he's only got 2 stone left to go, you wouldn't bet against it now, would you, for him to lose it? And if he's training twice a day, I mean, like I said, that's some pretty good stuff. That's commitment for you. Now, whether you like Tyson Fury or whether you don't, facts are he is undefeated and he is the lineal champion. He beat the man who nobody else could. Since then, Anthony Joshua has. But of course, most people want to see Joshua versus Tyson Fury at some point. But first things first, Tyson Fury needs to get back in the ring. His whole UCAD situation is behind him, where he admitted to cocaine abuse and telling the UCAD testers to go jog on. And that goes down as a failed test. So he admitted to that. He got a backdated 2-year ban. And because he's already been out of the ring 2 years, that's pretty much why he accepted it. So he's now free to fight again. The British Boxing Board of Control have given him the green light to apply for a licence now. So he would get a green licence if he was to apply through the Boxing Board of Control. Whether or not he will remains to be seen. Now, since the Vladimir Klitschko fight, obviously he's had mental health issues with depression and all this kind of thing. Since then, he's now got a new management team in MTK Global and a new trainer. So he's left his uncle Peter Fury and is now with Ben Davison. And their team seems to be going pretty well so far. And like I said, see, a lot of people initially said, well, Ben Davison, he's very young, he's very inexperienced. But Tyson Fury seen something in him that thought, you know what, I could work with him. And I'm pretty sure that's not only down to the fact that Ben Davison, obviously, he's been training with the likes of Ricky Hatton in the gym. So he's picking up the tips of the trade here, there, and everywhere. But because he's young, he hasn't been brainwashed yet by the corruption in boxing or the negativity of boxing. So he's still motivated. And that's exactly what Tyson Fury needs. Tyson Fury, as far as skill goes, it's all natural to him. He's been doing it for a very, very long time. His style is unorthodox. It's not something that you train to perfect. It's just who he is. So it's purely about getting him fit, getting him motivated. And that's what Ben Davison is doing. Now, can he come back and reclaim the heavyweight crown again? Time will tell. You wouldn't bet against it, that's for sure. Whereas a lot of people, when it comes to Joshua and Tyson Fury, Very, very split down the middle. And I do believe if these two can stay undefeated over the next 2 or 3 fights and then get it on, maybe end of this year or summer next year, which would probably be ideal when both of them are at their peak. So there is no ring rust, there is no anything else, there's no excuses for the loser, if you like, where they walk into, for example, Wembley Stadium, get that right, Wembley Stadium, 90,000, who knows, maybe they can expand it a little bit more, squeeze a few more thousand in there, who knows. But the stadium will be split. For the first time, not only will you hear people cheering for Anthony Joshua, you will hear them jeering him as well. And exactly the same with Tyson Fury. People will be cheering him and jeering him. So it's going to be very, very split as to who people want to win. Now, this fight is a little bit away. I know Tyson said that he's quite willing to fight him next. Eddie Hearn, Anthony Joshua said, okay, we can get a deal in place, so we fight this summer. That's too early. I know Tyson Fury is very unorthodox, so honing his skills isn't something he really needs to do. It's purely the fitness. But the fact that he's been out of the ring, the fact that he hasn't been performing on a live stage will pay dividends. So for me, he needs to take his time, and that does mean taking on a couple of journeymen if necessary for now, just to get back into the swing of it. Now, will he sign for Eddie Hearn at Matchroom, which would make the Joshua fight a whole lot easier? Time will tell. Will he go back to Frank Warren? Again, time will tell. But of course, if he goes with Frank Warren, obviously Joshua's with Matchroom, Eddie Hearn. It makes it quite difficult to make due to the broadcasters. So as in, who shows the fight? Sky or BT? They're not going to do a collab. They're not going to do that because Sky Sports is the superior model, if you like. BT is new onto the scene for boxing. So Sky Sports be like, well, why do we need to collab with you? To us, you're nothing right now. But who knows? Maybe they'll strike a deal where Sky will show it live, BT will show repeats of it, like a couple of hours later. I don't know what they're going to do, but that's the kind of bridge that they're going to have to cross on their own when they get around to it, I suppose. But like I said, right now, he's lost a lot of weight. I think a couple of fights, maybe against Emmanuel Char, whereas Emmanuel Char is rough, he's rugged, and he does come forward. And it is for a title, it's for the WBA regular, and the WBA regular champion is effectively the mandatory for the WBA super title, which Anthony Joshua has right now. Now, we do know currently Alexander Povetkin is the mandatory, but with this regular title, once Manuel Char and Fraser Quendo have a fight, the winner of that fight is then the mandatory, as in, because the WBA want one title, but they only created this or brought back the regular because of Fraser Quendo in the history and the court battles, this, that and the other. I'm not getting into all that. But Manuel Char would be a good shout. And Manuel Char was the guy who confronted Tyson, about a year or so ago now? No, not as long as that, maybe 6 to 9 months ago when he got hold of him in Germany. I put up the video of all that. You guys have seen that one already, all that time ago. And it does seem that that's the kind of fight that they want to go. Other people like Shannon Briggs could be an option. Somebody who's going to give him a few rounds. Somebody who's going to get him a little bit motivated, a bit excited. Maybe Kubrat Pulev would be one. Tall, not so fast, excellent jab. Footwork, not that great, but still pretty good. And he is an elite heavyweight. Let's be honest, Kubrat Pulev is. And I think that kind of fight will be suitable to Tyson Fury, where he can just outbox him, because he doesn't have to worry about his power so much, because Pulev, while he does have pretty decent knockout power, it's not punishing power. So I think Pulev will be a very good shout, at least in my mind. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. But of course, now he needs to get the license. I'm presuming that it is going to be with the British Boxing Board of Control, even though they have messed him about all this time. I think for the long term, it will be a good move for him to do that. Also, he needs to get an opponent sorted out and then set a date in stone, and whether or not he will be fighting over on BT Sport or Sky Sports. Again, we're really going to have to wait and see, but I believe Frank Warren is the favourite right now, but anything can happen. You never know what's going to happen. So Tyson Fury, within 8 weeks, has lost 56 pounds, which is 4 stone. So he just needs to lose another 2 stone within the next however many weeks. And it looks like he could definitely do it. He's on the road to be doing this quite comfortably by the looks of it. You can see by the pictures and everything, he's looking a lot trimmer than what he once was. So, happy days. We should see the Gypsy King back soon enough. And for me, I'm a big fan of Tyson Fury, as you all know. I'm a big fan of Anthony Joshua, as you all know. So when it comes down to this fight, this will be one of the very few fights where you actually see me sitting on the fence. Who wins this fight? Time will tell. For me, I believe that Tyson Fury is the better boxer. When he's on form, of course. He's a better boxer, so he can beat Anthony Joshua on points. I don't believe he can knock out Joshua. Well, physically he can, but he doesn't like to commit. So I think points decision is probably what Tyson Fury could get over Joshua. For Joshua to win, I believe he has to knock out Tyson Fury. And of course, he's very, very capable. So that's pretty much my prediction. My prediction is never going to change, even when this fight is signed and sealed. And even on the night of it, I'm still going to be saying it's either going to be a Joshua KO victory or a Tyson Fury points decision. So anyway, we'll have to wait and see. First things first, he's lost all this weight. Excellent news. So everybody else, click the thumbs up. Drop yourself a comment, of course. If you haven't done so yet, subscribe. Catch you on the next video.